Dear viewer, we bring in this video another challenging situation that could ever happen on board any flight or airlines. This is a rare but possible situation. We will talk about what happens if someone dies on board an aircraft. Before we continue, if you are still new to my channel, please do not forget to subscribe for more related aviation videos. The death of a passenger on a plane is a rare and deeply distressing event that presents unique challenges for the flight crew, passengers, and the airline as a whole. Unlike emergencies on the ground, handling a death at 30,000 feet requires specific protocols, resources, and a calm, compassionate approach. Flight attendants must act swiftly, balancing the need to provide immediate care, manage the deceased passenger with dignity, and support family or friends on board. This sensitive situation highlights the unique complexities of in-flight medical emergencies, where careful coordination is essential to ensure safety, respect, and emotional support for everyone involved. Immediate response and confirmation of death. The first step when a passenger becomes critically unresponsive is for the cabin crew to assess the situation and attempt to administer aid. Cabin crews are trained to handle in-flight medical emergencies, including performing CPR and using an automated external defibrillator if available. The initial goal is always to try to stabilize the passenger, as there may still be a chance of revival. In many cases, announcements are made to ask if any medically trained passengers, such as doctors or nurses, are on board and can assist. These professionals, if present, can provide critical care and potentially diagnose the severity of the situation. If the passenger's condition appears critical, the crew will consult with a medical support team on the ground, which can provide remote guidance. However, if all resuscitation attempts fail and the qualified medical professional on board or ground-based support confirms that the passenger is indeed deceased, the crew must move forward to manage the sensitive situation appropriately. Handling the body with dignity and discretion. Once it's confirmed that the passenger has passed away, the flight attendants and crew focus on handling the body with dignity while being mindful of other passengers. The crew's goal is to minimize disruption while treating the deceased passenger respectfully. Ideally, they will attempt to lay the body flat, cover it with a blanket, and secure it with a seat belt, ensuring that the head is turned to one side. The crew may also try to find an area of the plane where the body can be placed away from other passengers, especially if there are unoccupied seats or if there's an area dedicated for crew rest. In cases where the flight is fully booked, the body may need to remain in its original seat, shielded from view with a blanket or cover. Airline staff are trained to explain the situation discreetly to nearby passengers to help manage reactions and provide comfort where needed. In rare cases, certain larger aircraft may have a designated area for medical emergencies or deceased passengers, but this is uncommon. Decision to divert the flight. When a passenger dies mid-flight, the airline may consider diverting to the nearest airport, though this decision depends on multiple factors. Factors influencing the decision include the length of time left in the flight, the availability of medical facilities at potential diversion airports, and the desires of the deceased's family if they are present. Diverting a flight can be costly and inconvenient for other passengers, but airlines generally prioritize respect and safety over logistical concerns. If the flight is close to its destination, the crew may decide to continue rather than divert, especially if there is no immediate need for emergency ground services. The airline's operations team, ground, medical support, and pilot work together to make the best possible decision under the circumstances. If the deceased passenger was traveling with family or friends, the cabin crew is trained to provide them with emotional support and, if available, connect them with airline support staff upon landing. The crew may also relocate family members of the deceased person to a private section of the plane, if available, to allow them have some privacy in their grief while on board, as their modes may affect other passengers. Flight attendants may offer basic comforts such as water, tea, or coffee or blankets to provide solace for relatives of the deceased in such a difficult time. This compassionate response can help ease some of the immediate stress for grieving travel companions. Once the plane lands, the crew coordinates with ground staff, law enforcement, and medical personnel to manage the transfer of the body in accordance with local regulations and airline policy. Ground medical teams will usually confirm the passenger's death if it hasn't been officially declared, and the body will be handled in a manner consistent with health and legal requirements. In most countries, death on board an aircraft requires a police report and sometimes a coroner's assessment, especially if the cause of death is unknown. Ground personnel will also assist the deceased's family or travel companions, helping them with accommodations, arranging transportation, or coordinating with local consular services if the passenger was traveling internationally. After the incident, the cabin crew is required to document the event in detail, including actions taken, medical interventions attempted, and responses from both passengers and crew. This documentation is essential for airline records, potential insurance claims, and reporting requirements with aviation authorities. The report may also be reviewed for training and policy adjustments, helping airlines improve how they handle similar situations in the future. A death on board can have a lasting emotional impact on both the crew and passengers. Airlines often provide counseling or support resources for their staff following such incidents, as it can be deeply distressing for those involved. Passengers may also experience a range of emotions, from sadness to anxiety, and flight attendants are trained to respond with understanding and empathy, offering support where they can. A passenger's death during a flight is a rare but serious event, and airlines have developed protocols to manage it with compassion, respect, and efficiency. Through careful training, in-flight resources, and coordination with ground medical teams, flight crews strive to handle these incidents with dignity. Ultimately, the goal is to honor the deceased and support those affected while ensuring the safety and emotional well-being of everyone on board. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more aviation related videos. Also, you can also hit the bell icon to be notified about our latest uploads.